Let's see the quick demo of WebAssembly browser app where actually they're using JavaScript import and export interrupt with the WebAssembly web browser project. And here the default functionality they provide a type ellipse functionality over here which have that pause button, right? So if I start, so I can start. If I can pause it. Even if I want to reset, so I can reset. So additionally I just bind a table over here which is like this. So if I want to bind the table, so the table look like this. Even if I want to show and hide based on this our functionality in the JavaScript functionality, so that we can do that. So that we will do. And actually this is a new launch from the Microsoft, this template. So how we can use it, so let's moving to implementations. So before we start the implementation, I'm especially recommend, if you first time visit my channel, which is .NET real world example, and in here you can learn many things like AI or backend front-end development, and also game development, and full stack as a full stack developer. So everything actually you can learn over here if you want to learn. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, what you need to do for this template, so Microsoft actually provide a experimental template. Okay, so for that let me install that first. Okay, so let me open any command prompt. Okay, and here see, first you require this command which is .NET workload install WASM experimental. Okay, so this is that one workload, okay, which we have to install. So once you install this, so this is also actually dependent. See, this is dependent actually WASM tools. Okay, so first if already installed, that will be skip. If it is not, so definitely they will take some time to install these WASM tools. And once your WASM tool installed, you can able to see over here. Yeah, so you will see that workloads experimental has been installed. Okay, so once installed, after that we have to install one template which is provide the Microsoft, which is this. Okay, so .NET new install Microsoft .NET runtime WebAssembly and templates. So once you install this command, okay, so it will give you this three template, this new three template. One is that basic console app, one is WebAssembly browser app, WebAssembly console app. Okay, so these three app actually, the three template actually they will provide same things. You can just check out once you complete, so you can check out from Visual Studio itself, or if you want to create your application directly, so simply .NET uh, .NET command you can just create with using this short name. Okay, but I'll show you in from that Visual Studio itself. So go to that new project, and here you can just search WebAssembly. So if you just once you WebAssembly, now see, this is that two template. One is that WebAssembly browser, which we will do in little bit later. But yeah, I think this is two template actually they provide from that WebAssembly browser app, and one is that WebAssembly console app template. Okay, and another one is that Bezi, like so. If you see the Bezi, yeah, so another template is this one. So based on this actually you just create it. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just create that new applications over here like this one, WebAssembly browser app. And next, and here just let me ask to, okay, uh, WASM browser app demo or something app. Okay, and I just paste it some, I'll just place it some location. Next, and then using that whatever your .NET, right? So I'll just use latest one, .NET 10. Create. Now once your project got created, now see, it look like this, like it's simple, right? There is nothing, just simple program.cs file, babroots files, babroot folder, and property and dependency. And also it is trying to restore, see, all that restored, they're trying to restore all the dependencies over here. And if I look one by one, like for example, first I'll check that project file. Now see, they are adding this new attribute or new property over there, right? Allow unshaped box, which is true. And even I think if you, so .NET 10 actually they have that inbuilt functionality, so we don't need to additionally over there. But if you using a later version, I guess, so I think we have to, or an existing project, so then you can just use like this way. Okay, don't worry, I'll take care of that in an upcoming session, but yeah, as of now keep it that as a simple. And yeah, I think that's fine, right? So project wise, and just simply add this in .NET 10. And what about this program.cs file? Now see, this program.cs file just using this JSImport, right? And which is also actually just pointing out, okay, import this from this file, the JS file, and this DOM, right? And yeah, so based on this, actually we just simply create this as a functions. Okay, so set in inner exception, and then we can use it in our JavaScript file. Similar I can use for export as well. Suppose if I want to export something, so yeah, so this is the toggle function which can be export over there. So yeah, and the toggle function also is a reset button, right? So simply first let me run it, this application, so that you can get idea actually how actually look like. Okay, so let me run this. Okay, so once you run, now see, it is listening on this localhost, this port, and this is your application is running over here. And see, this is just by default they providing a stopwatch function, which is just starting your stopwatch, like start your timing. And also the functionality over here, if you just F12, now see, I'm showing that F12. And if you go to that console, now see that if I just start, okay, so if you start and pause, it will be pause your function. Even if you want to reset, so it can be reset as well, right? And yeah, I think that pretty much good, right? And yeah, so everything is working as a browser, right? And even if you go back to here, so yeah, this is the program.cs file. So see, as like we are see our start this program, right? And then this is that set time, right, where we set that our timing, right? And also based on this our design, right, our format, we just show the timing over here, this here, right? This is the timing where we want to show the timing. Okay, and this is that inner text over there, the function which is called on here, and this is the toggle function which will call in our JavaScript function. Okay, and let me go to this main.js file. Okay, so if you go to over here, if you go to www root here, main.js file, now see the start function is over there. It is just starting, and then here see, this is that set module imports, and this is our whatever that your JavaScript file name, so you have to mention. And this is my DOM, and here my that DOM function name. And what we are trying to do, simply we just get that name, whatever that selector name, and the time, we just set the time in this inner text, right? And we show it over here. Similar, if I use that export function, so I have to just use this export functionality. And using this export, see, I'm just button click on this. See, this is our button click, right? Reset button. So my reset button, actually once I click, so I'm just simply reset my functionality over there. And similar, I can pause button also, we can just pause. And also we have to change, see, that inner button text also we have to change it based on this. So this is pretty much simple. And all that displaying function, we have to just simply using that index.html. And here see, this is my button, and this is my text time, stopwatch timing we are displaying over there, right? So like this way. So for better understanding, what I'll do, as I show the demo, I'll just add one table, and also we'll modify the design and all, so that you can get an idea actually how we can modify this one, or how we can implement additional things in our in the WebAssembly project, WebAssembly web browser project. Okay, so for that what I'll do, I'll just add that table, right? So for the table, what I can do, simply I can just add the table over here. For example, in this body, in here, I'll just create a table functions over here, right? So let me just create a table. So this is the table tag, and ID I just refer for table, data table, and border, and just set some styles and all. Don't worry, I'll just I have to just create more style so that my application look better, right? So once you set this, now go back to that main.js file. We have to add some DOM over there. So go to over here, and this is the my DOM, and in this DOM what I can do, I can just simply add another DOM which is data table. So let me put this comma over here, and here I'll just copy paste my code because I don't want to write this code over here. So okay, now see, I'll just simply create a render table, right, which will expect that selector, what is that your selector and what is your data. So based on the selector, I'll just select, find the table, and table we just using this body, and in this body we have to just create a tr or td and just append it to in our t body. Okay, so based on this, simply I can just render table, right, and that pretty much cool over here, right? And additionally, actually we have to do something in that section, actually that button also. Based on this button, uh, if I can show you, okay, based on this button, okay, let me add one more button over here. So based on this button, actually I'll show that tables. Okay, so let me add this button over there, okay, which is show tables. By default it's show tables, but yeah, if it's not, if it is data populated, so it can be changed, right? So same things, same functionality as like we have a pause and a start functionality, we have to keep it same things from here. So for that, I have to just create another function. Go back to your main.js file, right? And in this main.js file, what I can do, simply I have to just get that data over there. So I'll just create this like show button. I'm just get the show button, and this table also I'm just get the table, and by default I just keep it to table visible is false. Okay, and after that, I have to just create one function. So let me just create one functions over here in below in this code. Okay, so see again, show button, right? Whatever show button, add even listener over here, and just click button, right? In this click button I just check, okay, if it is busy, if it is not equal to false, then I have to show that inner button is show button is inner button, right? So it is hide, and if it is not, then it's display, right? Simple. And finally, it display by default should be display is none, right? So now I just completed this click event. Also we have handled that click event of show table button, and now moving to create a data, like so where I can create it, go to the program.cs file, and here first let me import let me create a import functions over here as like this. So I just create a render tables. Okay, let me stop that. Okay, so simply I just create a render function over there, and which is pointing out our this DOM, which is I just created now in this main.js file, and which expected the selector and data.json, right? And that's one actually we have to call it over here as export function. So let me call it the export function over there. So let me create a bind functions over there. Okay, so as export I just create a bind functions, and in here I have to just create another class which can have those property of table row, right? So as like I can just create on down or up, it's up to you, but yeah, I'll just create it over here. So yeah, this table function, table row class, just expect this two value, name and value, right? And what I'll just trying to do, I'm just serialize so that I can get as a string data with this settings, and just simply call this render table function right over here. And in this render table function we passing the selector and data, right? And that pretty much cool over here. We don't need to do anything, I guess, right? So yeah, I think that cool. Save it. Okay, so finally once you're done everything like render function, table and all, right? And also if you go back to over here, so that export functions like which we have just exported over here, so also we can take it over here, right? So like that, once you complete, let me run this application and see how look like, right? So run this application. So now see, data is not populating over here, right? But also see there's just some error, I guess. That's why it is not loading properly our stopwatch function, right? So what is the error? Simply I can check it, go to that here, right? F12, and in this F12 now see it is saying in this your main.js file, actually I just missed somewhere this parenthesis, right? So go back to your main.js file, and in here I just missed somehow here. Okay, yeah, I just missed over there this extra. Actually see, I just comma, but actually I just missed that. Okay, don't, no worry, that is good. Actually save it. Now go back to I think, okay, here. Okay, now see it's got started, right? And simply if I just refresh show table, now see by default it's false, but once you click the show table it is show the data, that data. Even if you have 12, now see the data also I just logged it, so that data is over there. Once you hide, it's hide. Once you show again, the data is showing over there, the data, right? And this pause button also is working fine, and reset also working fine, start also is working fine, right? So everything is looks good except that design, as like I show you that from that is initial demo, right? So for modification, that actually we can simply go to that HTML. In here I can add some style so that my app can look better, right? So for that I have already has that style, so I can use this style over there like this, right? And what I can do, yeah, I think we can change something over there also. Pause, reset, show tables, I think that is fine except this one. Okay, so except this, yeah, I think I can change it to this without paragraph. This paragraph is fine, but I can change this. Okay, so yeah, I can check it as a tab because I already create a style for this tab, right? And save it, go back to here, and now it's look better, right? If F12, now see, once you refresh, now see it's loading, and just start your stopwatch function immediately. And once you pause, it will be pause, start, it will start. If I reset, so start. And if I want to show the data, so now it looks good, right? So now this way actually you can use this template and create your applications. In upcoming session I'll just create a complete app as like inventory management system with their sales, so that you can get more idea how can implement and all. And even this function like this will use that existing WebAssembly, or other project also integrate these things. So that we will do in upcoming session. But yeah, till now that's all for this session. Thank you, have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.